Hey guys, welcome to day 17, I think. So the background today is looking a bit different because I just showered and today is gonna be sort of like a vlog instead because I feel like I needed this space. I needed to talk it out. It's actually about like 1:30 a.m. to like 2 a.m. Right now. I actually didn't want to do this, but it felt like I needed the space to kind of like talk it out. Not for anyone who's watching, not for any audience, but if you are watching, I really, really am grateful. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Um, but yeah, mainly it's for me just because I needed the space to kind of like talk it through. So I had a busy day today. I was out like the whole day since like 10 and till about like 12 plus a.m. So in the evening, I actually went to a house place with a couple of other friends as well. So it's a group of, I think it was like six, seven, and they are all kind of my friends, but not exactly that close that I have heart to heart talk with like all of them. Probably only like one or two of them. And so usually we climb together, so it's kind of like a sort of like an activity focused space. But for this, because it's more of like a sit down chit chat kind of space, which is kind of like a first for me together with all of them. And the conversation goes like about school, about work, about children getting married and stuff like that. And as time goes by, I gradually feel more and more out of place, more and more having a lack of sense of belonging, and just feeling like an alien among them. And I think it was then that I had a realization that this is how I feel a lot of the time throughout my life. And it was exceptionally bad, I would say, before I start my journey, my healing journey, or like my spiritual journey, however you want to call it. Um, and I think like it was more intense healing for me these 2 years, but I kind of like probably I would say 4 or 5 years ago when I started watching Teal Swan's video that I feel more and more at peace, I would say. So and also because in recent years I have found my soul sisters, soul brothers, however you want to call it, that I'm so used to sitting down, be it in a one-to-one setting or in a group setting, in an intimate space, especially that we get to sit down, share our stories, share our thoughts authentically, be vulnerable. We don't have to put up any front or anything like that. And um, I would actually, I mean, not that the people that I met up with earlier, I'm sure everybody has their stories, everybody has their depth, their complexity to life, which is I'm sure they do have. It's just are you which, if this is the ocean, right? Where are you comfortable swimming? Like for me, I love the depth. I feel comfortable in the depth. And for lack of better description, when I don't go deep down, it always feel like I have an itch that I couldn't scratch. I always say that, but I know it's gross in some ways if you picture it. But yeah, some people are comfortable and even more so they are used to swimming on the surface, and they can go about it their whole life just like that. And I couldn't. Um so This few months when I kind of like meet a lot of like more soul sisters and soul brothers, mainly soul sisters actually, that I get to really have like heart-to-heart talk, and being able to just be intimate, be ourselves, and feeling like everybody just welcomes you, everybody just accepts you, that form that sense of belonging, like, hey, it's okay that I'm here. And that itself has been always very healing for me. So those of you that I shared my account with for now, and if you are listening, somewhere somehow you have provided that space for me. So I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, because it's only at this point I feel like the universe is kind of like showing me, hey, you were there. That wound is still there. That wound of like having no sense of belonging, feeling like you are an alien among people, that you don't fit in here, you don't have a space here. Like, I think it's showing me that, hey, your wound is still there. It is time to heal. And also because of like going through like one big round, like when I was younger, I was always in the past, I was always in the space of having no sense of belonging, gradually moving into having people around me who are able to like build that sense of connection, and then going right back, showing me people where I feel like I just don't fit in. It felt like I also feel like, because I think in the past when I experienced all of that, and it's like all of that all of the time, I have this thinking, or like this belief, that I am really the alien, I am really the odd one out. And I am actually convinced that nobody on earth wants to go into depth, into having real connection, into having really fruitful, really intimate conversation. Like, I was convinced that nobody actually wants that. And gradually moving to the space where, hey, you know what, I actually have people around who are like me, who actually enjoy such spaces and having such depth. And then moving right back in today into kind of like people who only enjoy surface conversation and are comfortable there. It's like, hey, it felt like the universe is saying like, hey, there are all kinds of people that exist, all kinds. Even though like you were surrounded by all these people when you were younger, and you were convinced that only this kind of people exist and you were just odd, I'm showing you that yes, these people do exist, but also many other people, many other different types of people. And I think there was a sense of peace in that, knowing that it's okay that they exist. I just need to find my tribe. I just need to find my people to build the connections with. There's nothing wrong with them. Just swimming, just being, liking to be on the surface of things, and also being able to kind of like, don't feel like they are any different. They have to go against the grain, have to go against the current of like what the society wants. I mean, of course I do have sadness. I do feel sad in that. But at the same time, it felt like it's okay, It's okay. Actually, in fact, good for them. So I feel like a couple of months back, when I was in almost, I would say, the darkest period of my time, that I was having this conversation with my brother, and he told me that he went on a date with someone who has a very simple life, a very simple mindset, a very simple belief, and her life is basically revolving around work and watching YouTube in her downtime, and sleep and work and meet up with friends. And it was at that point I kind of like scream and say like, Why can't I have that kind of life? Why can't I be normal? Why can't I just want the things what the society wants me to want? Wouldn't life be all much so like all so easier for me? Why would I like to why do the things that I want always have to go against the society's current? And it just makes it extremely difficult for me sometimes, and I just it's just sad, just feeling a lot of sadness inside of me right now. Probably emotions just still continue to move. Has been for a while now. uh is there anything else that I want to say? Sorry, I know I'm jumping around today, but I know that this today is not supposed to make sense. And also I find that doing this is actually very therapeutic for me, which is why like I'm having all these categories of like the future YouTube channels that I'm gonna do, and this is gonna be one of it where I just, you know, I just want my camera or whoever is watching this to just hold space for me. um it's gonna be rambles, it's not gonna make sense, but it's just for my own processing of my own thoughts and my own emotions. uh yeah, do I want to say some more? uh, a reflection of where I am right now, I still want to say like I still feel like I'm struggling. um I still feel a bit sad, more powerless, I would say, to, you know, having to always wanting, like having the desires that it's different, is yeah, it's just different from what the society wants me to want. It's just hard, it's just sad, and I feel exhausted, to be honest. And of course there are things that I want, that is the same desire as most people want, would want, like money and success and a stable life and a safe space. um but you know, the way and the how it looks for me to get there is different from how the society perceive is the best way, like, you know, getting a corporate job, being normal, having kids, being married, and things like that. Feel like the way to get there is different, and at this point right now, I feel like I've surrendered and I've given in to the universe in big ways, in so many ways, for, in fact, I would feel like a very long time actually already. But I haven't seen any rewards, I haven't seen any results in terms of like material stuff yet. In society eyes, I'm still not considered successful. I am not earning as much as I used to. um Things like that, you know. Of course a part of me still doesn't feel safe. I don't feel safe enough to be independent, to survive on my own without my husband. Things like that. So um of course I know, like my logical mind knows that it's going to be a journey. You can't just surrender and it's just magically reward you, nor that if they reward you before you work hard, right, you're just gonna give in. You're just gonna be like, no, I've gotten the result, I'm just gonna stay in my comfort zone, I'm never crawling out of my shell, you know. I get that, my logical mind gets that. But at a certain time, like right now, I do feel really exhausted. I feel like, um especially having Pluto return, for like quite a while now. 7 months left, which means that I'm actually 13 months into it. I've burned so many bridges, um, not by choice. Given up so many things, being the weird one. being the really weird one, where I am, and seeing people around me getting more and more successful. They just follow their heart, they just do it, they just surrender, and then they got more and more successful and feel like I'm lagging behind. I'm in this space right smack in between where I've surrendered so many things. I've given up so many things that right now people are just gonna look at me like, I don't know what you're doing. Like, it seems to be out of your mind. Um you have given up so much. You must be nuts. I don't know. People are looking at me weird, people are looking at me odd. And not getting any credits, maybe. But at the same time, people who are like kind of like few steps ahead of me, or probably their journeys is just faster, they are becoming more and more successful, they are getting tractions, they are, getting a lot of stuff, even when it's not yet material wealth, but the results are showing, the rewards are reaping. And I am just right before that, I feel. And also, I don't know how much longer I have to be in this space, and also how much longer and how much I still need to face my triggers, my shadows, things that I need to give up. I don't know how much more. And at this point, I'm just really exhausted. Really. But I also feel like this may be a good reflection, because I feel like anybody who's on this journey will understand what I'm talking about. For people who reflect back, I feel like there will be people who will come to this space and they're like, you know what? It's the darkest night before the light. I don't know how long more the dark night is gonna be, but it exists, and it's a good reminder of like, you know what? If I come to that space again in the future, the light will come. Having the faith, having the trust that the light will come is important. And also for people who are maybe just started on their healing journey, just started on like following their life path, a reminder for them, or mentally prepare them, they're gonna get into this space, and to never give up right before the dawn comes. So yeah, apologize to anyone who watches me ramble on. It's probably gonna be the most messiest one I've ever made, but I needed the space, and I'm gonna do more vlogs in the future. Sometimes I might privatize them, sometimes I may make them public. We'll see. Thank you guys.